Welcome into Titans Today. I am your host, Brett Alper, and today, the day is finally here. It is draft day, baby. I hope you watched the movie, the terrible movie, but it still gets you in the mood for draft day. And better late than never, we finally have our first final NFL mock draft of the 2025 NFL season. And I'm excited for it. I know you guys are. And if you're ready for draft night, we are going to be live throughout the whole entire first round of the NFL draft on our main channel, Chat Sports. That's youtube.com/@chatsports. If you want to get all your draft coverage commercial free, tune in to tonight's live draft coverage on our main channel. It's going to be exciting. I'm ready for it. I'm absolutely ready for it, and I know you guys are too. But we got the Titans draft picks to start with. So here we go. We got 8 of them. Tonight we're only going to see 1. And I think we all know who that number 1 pick is going to be. We might see some other moves in the draft, a little foreshadowing here to what we could see in this mock draft. But you got no third-round pick, 2 fourths, 2 fifths, and 2 sixths. So without further ado, let's get started. I made the first 4 picks. And with the number 1 overall pick, the Tennessee Titans select Cam Ward, obviously. And Travis Hunter going 2, Abdul Carter going 3, and offensive lineman Will Campbell going number 4 to the New England Patriots. But let's talk about it. I mean, we've talked about it a ton. We've talked about it a ton with Cam Ward. It was for sure throughout the entire draft process that we knew, unless the Titans were trading the pick, which they announced they aren't, we know that Cam Ward was going to be this number 1 guy for the team. I mean, his stats just don't lie for this. 67% completion percentage, 4,300 yards, 43 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. He's taken Miami's offense and made it great. He took Washington State's offense, made it great. He was with Incarnate Ward, made their offense great. And I know if this was last year's draft, it probably wouldn't be the best quarterback, but he is definitely the most talented quarterback in this year's draft, and that don't take anything away from him. He is by far a great QB, and I think the one thing that Mike Borgonzi did was help this offensive line. And when you look at Cam Ward, when he gets to go back there and sit in the pocket, when he is kept clean, those stats don't lie. 72% pretty much completion percentage, 32 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, big-time throw percentage, 5.5. That man loves to sling the rock. He loves to go for the deep ball. He plays a little bit of too much hero ball, but with a great coach and a QB coach like Brian Callahan, he can kind of level that down. Cam Ward's your number 1 pick. I'm excited for it, and we're going to have a video for you once he gets drafted later tonight. Okay, with the number 2 pick, or round 2, number 35, we're going with a wide receiver, and I really hope he is here at 35. I've seen some mock drafts go in the first round, but in this one, in mine, he's going to the second round. Luther Burden III, Mizzou, going to the Tennessee Titans. We saw a very surprising, I wouldn't say surprising signing last night with Tyler Lockett, but you still draft a wide receiver. That is still your number 2 priority next to quarterback. And Luther Burden is your guy. I mean, 6 foot, 206 pounds. He is that slot wide receiver that you need. I mean, if you look at his relative athletic score, it's just off the charts. I mean, 4.4 40. His height, yeah, but when you're looking for a slot wide receiver, you don't really need a guy that's 6'3". Weight, he's strong. He can block for you. 20-yard splits, 10-yard splits. I really am impressed with Luther Burden and the stats. I know he had a down year in 2024, but I'm going to be honest, I couldn't tell you Mizzou's quarterback to save my life right now. And in 2023, 86, 1,200 yards. And going from a quarterback like whoever he had to Cam Ward, and you have a guy on the outside like Calvin Ridley to complement him. And not to mention, with this new signing, we look at the depth chart. I've taken Traylon Burks out of there because I think he's probably going to get cut or traded. It's a bust, sad to say. But you have Tyler Lockett in there as your main slot. Van Jefferson, Calvin Ridley. Burden can learn a lot under Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett's a 10-year vet. He is probably one of the greatest Seattle Seahawks wide receivers they've ever seen. He's going into their Hall of Fame. So I think Luther Burden can learn a lot under Tyler Lockett, get him under his wing, and become a very productive slot wide receiver for the Tennessee Titans. All right, let's go to the fourth. No, we have a trade. We're getting back into the third round, people. Pick number 78. And since we got our quarterback, we can trade a quarterback. Will Levis, you're going to Arizona. For picks 103, pick 141, you get pick 78 because honestly, the Cardinals need a backup quarterback. They have Clayton Tune as their backup quarterback right now. So they're going to get a solid guy with Will Levis. And this is why I really do think the Titans are going to try to trade back into the third round. You have so many fourth and fifth round picks. You have 4 of them total that you could use those to get back into the third round and get a very productive guy. I mean, Adam Schefter said this in an article he wrote a couple days ago. Borgonzi has been hired to help build up the Titans roster. Borgonzi turned down the Giants' overlures to trade up to the number 1 in a package of picks that would have included a third-round pick this year. Now he'll have to see if he can find a way back into that round. Well, we found a way back into that round. And there's 2 priorities besides quarterback, obviously, because everybody knows you're getting number 1. My 2 priorities in this draft were wide receiver and this next guy, edge rusher. And that is Femi Oladejo out of UCLA with the 78th pick. Now, a couple weeks ago, Mel Kiper in his mock draft had Oladejo going 35. I think Oladejo has a lot of potential. And I also said it in the mock draft. That was pick 35, not pick 75. Well, this is pick 78. And when you get an edge rusher that has the tangibles like Oladejo, 6'3", 259 pounds, that's a perfect pick in the third round. This was his first year starting, and you can see that he was a lot better on the edge than he has been. I mean, only half a sack in 2023. With Cal, he only had a sack, but in 2024, 4.5 sacks, 33 pressures, 57 tackles, 2 PBUs. This man he didn't run at the combine, but if you get a guy with his potential, he has that NFL size that if you coach him up, and now you're putting him behind Draymond Jones and Sebastian Joseph Day, he can learn. And this is going to be a project for the Titans. I don't expect him to start in year 1, but after a couple years, he definitely could be a productive edge rusher for the Titans. And they need one, man. I mean, you go back to last year. They were 30th in sacks. You had Harold Landry, and you got rid of him. And you had 32 total. I think it was the Steelers at number 1. They had around 60. Like, you got to bump those numbers up. Edge rusher was a huge priority in the draft. So I'm going to ask you guys, do you want the Titans to trade up or trade into the third round? This will be the pinned comment on today's video. Type Y for yes, type M for no. We're not going to find out until tomorrow with the second and third rounds. We're in about first round tonight. But what do you guys think? Do you want to trade up to the third round? Let me know down in the comments section below. Okay. We have our edge rusher, and now we did improve the offensive line a little bit, but you can never have enough offensive linemen. And with the fourth round, pick number 103, I'm going with Wyatt Milum out of West Virginia. And I'm actually, I don't know why he's going this low. Oh, I do know why. It's because he's actually kind of slow. I'm not trying to rhyme there, but 6'6", 313 pounds. 11 games played. He's just a solid guard. I mean, 91 PFF grade. And the big one that I look at on his stats, when you look at everything that he's done, 0, and I mean 0 sacks allowed in 2024. His pass block grade, 92.6. Run block grade, 89.7. He is probably one of the most slept-on guys that we've seen in this draft. And he's not going to come out and start because you signed Dan Moore Jr. to play left tackle. You move J.C. Latham to right tackle. And where he would be is a guard. He played tackle in college, but honestly, he would probably want to move to wherever. If you can learn behind Kevin Zeitler, who is mid-30s, and then take over that spot, because his contract's not that long, this is a solid pick, especially when you're getting him in the fourth round. I really like that pick, and I think it's going to be a very slept-on pick, one of the most underrated guys in this year's draft. Before we go any further and get into the later rounds, I got to tell you about our sponsor of today's show, and that is Game Time. Game Time is the best app I use it whenever I want to go to games, sporting events, concerts, comedy shows. I use Game Time. If you're a procrastinator like I am, I wait until pretty much the second to last or last day to get your tickets. And Game Time makes getting tickets faster and easier. And it's the NBA playoffs. You can get them for even hard to get playoff seats. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to tip-off. With killer last-minute deals, all-in pricing, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying NBA playoff tickets or any tickets. You can save up to 60% off buying last-minute tickets for sports, concerts, comedy, theater shows, everything that you can see. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS, that's CHATSPORTS, for $20 off your first purchase, or terms apply. Look, I know it's not football season. We still got a while to go, but we're still in baseball season. You want to go see Vanderbilt baseball? Go right ahead. Use the Game Time app. You want to go see the Sounds? You like minor league baseball? Use the Game Time app. NASCAR returns to Nashville in a month. It returns in June. Get your tickets on the Game Time app. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use promo code CHATSPORTS, CHATSPORTS, for $20 off your first purchase, or terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem the code CHATSPORTS, CHATSPORTS, for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. What time is it? It's game time. Okay, so we got our wide receiver. We got our edge rusher. And most importantly, we got our quarterback. But now I'm sticking with the defense here. And this is a guy that I feel, he didn't play Power 5 football, but I feel like Upton Stout out of Western Kentucky. Shout out to Tyson Helton and his crew. I covered them for a while when I lived in Bowling Green, Kentucky. If you guys know where that is, yeah. Fun time. Upton Stout, solid defensive back. He can play all over the field. And I mean all over the field. You want to put him at corner? You can put him at corner. You want to put him in nickel? You can put him in nickel. You want to put him at safety? You can put him at safety. This guy has gotten better each and every single year that he has been in college football. Now, small size, 5'8", 181. He's not going to be able to guard top wide receivers that are tall. He's not going to be able to guard your Justin Jeffersons. But still, solid stats. I mean, in 2024, 12 games played, 53 tackles, 8 tackles for loss, 2 PBUs, 1 interception. I'd personally put him at safety. 29 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 9 PBUs in 2023. 1 interception, 1 forced fumble. And when you look at his coverage stats for 2023, I mean, he only allowed 163 yards and 1 touchdown. 2 PBUs, 1 interception. This guy is a very underrated defensive back. Put him at safety, and he's going to be a main guy for you. Now, I do think that with your safety core of Xavier Woods that you just signed, you're going to need to get a little younger, and I think Upton Stout is a guy that you can draft and help this team tremendously. Now we go into our next pick, and we're sticking in the same bluegrass state. And I'm going with Jamon Dumas-Johnson out of the University of Kentucky, my alma mater. Round 6, number 178. I had to pick one. I had to go with one. This guy, solid player for Kentucky, led the team in tackles. I'm really impressed with his stuff that he has. I mean, in 2024, 67 tackles, 7 tackles for loss, 3.5 sacks. Like I said, he led the team in tackles. He came from Georgia. He's played in the SEC. He knows what Power 5 football is all about. He knows what he needs to do. And when you go from Georgia getting that national championship experience, you're going to a smaller football school like Kentucky, you still play in the SEC. And if you play in the SEC, I put you above, honestly, I put you above a lot of people. 6 foot, 238 pounds, solid linebacker. Come on, Dumas-Johnson. Stay close to home. And our last pick in the 6th round with number 188. This is kind of just helping Cam Ward out. His former wide receiver, Sam Brown Jr. I said, you can never have enough wide receivers. I like the connection. I mean, in 2024, you're not Xavier Restrepo, but 36 receptions, 509 yards, and you're 6'2", kind of a deep threat. We saw if Cam Ward can fit in those tight spots. and you already have chemistry with Sam Brown, 14 yards per catch. That's impressive. I've watched a lot of tape, Cam Ward, and a lot of the times I see Sam Brown catching the pass. Only 2 touchdowns in 2024 and 57 targets, only 4 drops. I like that. I see people in the NFL who have, I think it was Quentin Johnston, who is just terrible. And he was an early round pick. Like, he has a ton of drops. If you get a wide receiver that already has connection with a quarterback, and that's specifically why I chose Sam Brown, because the Cam Ward to Brown connection, get him off the bench, prove yourself in preseason, get a roster spot, and just stay pretty much 4th, 5th on the depth chart, and you'll be fine. You'll be fine. All right. Those are my picks. We lost one because we traded up to get in the 3rd round to get Oladejo. Cam Ward, Luther Burton, Femi, Wyatt Milum, Upton Stout, Jamon Dumas-Johnson, and Sam Brown Jr. Go ahead, down in the comments, grade this mock draft, A, B, C, D, or F. For me, I'm a little biased, but I'm giving it a B+. I'm giving it a B+. I am impressed with everything. I hope that Mike Borgonzi takes lessons from me, but I'm not a general manager, of course. I wish I was, but if you get all of these players, the Titans will go into 2025 and be solid enough. I could see them competing, and that's really all you want. It's draft night, baby. We're going to have a video for you right when Cam Ward gets drafted. So don't forget to subscribe, youtube.com/Titans Today, and tune into the live coverage. Tune into the main channel, youtube.com/@chatsports. They'll be live for all 32 picks. I'm Brett Alper, and as always, tighten up.